So we're a nonprofit newspaper that's operated as a for-profit newspaper for many, many years, and finally we're realizing that maybe that's not the best way to go about things. It's a really important point to consider, the fact that we are basically still structured as a newspaper, as a for-profit newspaper, and we're basically churning out journalists to go on to print media opportunities which just don't exist anymore. It's worked for us for 100 years that we've been turning out our reporters, and they've gone to work at great newspapers around the country, as well as other media outlets, but primarily newspapers. And the fact is, we need to move away from that now. So part of it is we're training our staff in multimedia, training our staff in blogging, training our staff in the 24-hour news cycle so that they can be prepared for the jobs that are out there. But we also have to look at ourselves more critically and say, what is our purpose? Because our purpose, at least for the next few years, can't be to churn out print newspaper journalists. Those jobs just don't exist. So my hope is that we're going to look at ourselves more as a larger media organization, and to create journalists that can be applicable in any sort of media. Yet we still want to really focus on the basics. So the basics of the 5 W's and how reporting and all of that are still critical, but we're trying to get video recorders in every reporter's hand, get photographers to go out there and be taking notes for their own stories, making our staff much more all around capable of churning out different media. Because that's really what is going to be looked for, and whatever the next form of written media is, there's going to be a lot more of these other elements, and it's going to be important that we're prepared for that. So we're really looking at building this endowment. We have a 5-year plan in place. We're about 6 months into it, and the goal is a $5 million endowment that will hopefully supplant about 30% of our normal annual operating costs. That endowment money will be geared specifically toward funding students and student training opportunities here at the Daily Cal. So we've relied on our alumni through the years to donate $50 to $100 to $1,000 donations every year, which has been critically important, and we're greatly appreciative. But we need to make the organization larger. We need to start going to our community that we serve and say, listen, you want to support the voice of independent student press, this is how you can do so. And you can contribute to us for just standard fundraising, or you can contribute to the endowment if you're capable of doing so. So it is a 5-year plan in place. It is a huge undertaking, to be sure, but we're really excited about the fact that the endowment could provide a lasting future for the Daily Cal, and so that we can remove ourselves a little bit from the ebbs and flow of the market and of what's going on in print media in general.
We had one of the engineering classes did the Daily Cal distribution as a process. They were process mapping for us to look at. They looked at 1.5 years worth of data, all the returns, and the returns are the counted newspapers from the day before. When you put the newspaper in the rack, you take out 3 from the day before, you record 3. So if we've been dropping 50 papers off there, and on average only 3 are left in the rack, that's a good thing. That's about the right amount. Ideally, we'll have 1 newspaper left in each rack. If we can maximize so that on campus, all of the distribution sites we currently have, the papers are actually all getting picked up, that's an incredible value to us, because our key differentiator in the marketplace is that we have this captive audience here. So the more we can do to ensure the maximum pickup rate on campus, one, we're reaching our advertisers' target audience, and two, we're effectively getting the word out in a much more assertive way on campus.
Well, the Daily Cal has been a city newspaper, and we've always covered city news content. And in the past, we've had a much broader distribution base into the city. And I think that's really important for us in the future, and something that we're focused on expanding right now. With the Berkeley Daily Planet fading out of existence, and then other newspapers scaling back their coverage of the city of Berkeley, it's really important that we expand. So a few things are going to happen there. We're going to expand our distribution base. We're just going to put a whole lot more boxes out into the city of Berkeley. And we're going to go directly into businesses as well. So a lot of cafes, restaurants, dropping off a small number of papers at each of these places just to get viewed by more people. That's important for both our advertisers and for our readers. We cover city news, but our readers don't always know about it. And for our advertisers, it's important to remind them, hey, we're here. And for people to see their customers reading the Daily Cal in their business is going to do a lot of things for us.
When I talk to advertisers out there, like when I go over to 4th Street, and I say, 4th Street merchants, would you like me to put in some newspaper racks here? They tell me, not necessary. What I want you to do is get all those 54,000 people over at campus to come do business with me over here and help my cash register ring over here. They tell me, no matter which business district I'm in, well, most business districts, Telegraph being the exception because they're right here, really what they want is they want our readers to go spend money with them out there. So it's more important for the businesses that you pick up your pocketbook and hoof it over to 4th Street and buy something than for me to have a rack on 4th Street. They're saying, hey, if you have a rack here, people are just going to be reading the paper, or they're already here shopping. I want to get those new people who are over there to come over here and spend money with me. As far as a strategy for how to leverage our key differentiator, which is really exclusivity in this distribution space, this geographic area, the more we can ensure that our print publication is picked up and read and utilized here on campus, the more we can influence where people will spend their money. Why? Because we're going to be selling advertising that is created by students, that is designed to reach the student marketplace, to hopefully a student designs it and sells it specifically with you as the target audience. What's it going to take to get you to think, oh, maybe I will get on the 51 and go hoof it over there and buy something, or go and get entertainment value somewhere else. So us, first and foremost, the lowest hanging fruit is this huge campus community. If we can be effective there and help monetizing that by improving our pickup rate, then that's great. We have less distribution waste, fewer resources being deployed, because it's easier for us to distribute on campus than it is to distribute off campus. Distributing off campus is still important. It's just not as low hanging fruit as on campus.